Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Seth Meyers, clinical psychologist, and today is my third video in my video series on repeating bad relationship patterns. So, I am talking about people who get stuck repeating some of the same negative patterns over and over in their relationships. They keep looking for the same kind of partner, even though the same kind of partner just isn't working out. It's almost like they are stuck in this cycle. So, in my work on relationships, I have found that there tend to be four different patterns that people who keep getting stuck repeating patterns that they engage in. And so, if this is you, if you are someone who keeps dating people, maybe you're 3 months in, 6 months in, a year in, but the relationships always end, one of the things you can do is ask yourself if you are repeating a particular pattern. And so I highlight in this video series on repeating relationship patterns four different patterns. Now, I've already spoken about two of the patterns. One of the patterns is emotional chasing, and another pattern I call idealizing the external. You can check those out and understand better what I mean. But this video is about pattern number three. And pattern number three is one of the most common patterns that people repeat in their failing relationships. And that is, wait for it, rescuing wounded souls. Rescuing wounded souls. The idea behind people who rescue wounded souls is often their belief, their idea deep down that that person, because in some ways they perceive them as broken or needy in some way, that that person will be less likely to leave them or to hurt them. They feel like in this relationship, I may have a little bit more control as opposed to feeling helpless as I might in a relationship where someone is stronger and better able to leave. So now what I want to do is I want to give you some clear examples of what someone who rescues wounded souls looks like, what the behavior includes. In this video, I will call these individuals rescuers. All right. And so the rescuer typically attaches to someone who is unstable emotionally in some way. The rescuer focuses and worries more about their partner and what their partner wants and needs than they think about themselves. Rescuers often find themselves with people who they feel at first are sweet and often they feel have so much potential, emotionally volatile or unstable, aggressive and controlling, unhappy, or unable to cope in their lives really well. They give out the message that these individuals really aren't well and that they need a lot of help in some way. The rescuer often feels like love trumps all. They have a fantasied view of love, that love trumps everything and all challenges. When you find love, that means more than anything. Love is the holy grail, as if love doesn't have conditions. But in romantic relationships, there are some conditions. There are some ways that a person can't treat you and you would be willing to stay. There are some conditions for a healthy relationship. A lot of times, the rescuer often feels like to leave the relationship, which again, because relationships are voluntary and it should be allowed if a relationship isn't the right one for you, a lot of times rescuers will feel that that is abandoning the person that they were in a relationship with, that they're not allowed to do that, that that would be cruel and they would feel tremendous guilt. So a lot of times rescuers can be guilt prone. This next one is really important. The rescuer really tries to help the person that they're with. They really, truly, genuinely try to help them. And yet, at the same time, underneath it all, what they really are trying to do, although they have good intentions, is they are trying to change their partner. The rescuer often tends to have partners who struggle with some sort of depression or anxiety or substance use, and those issues go untreated. It's not that you find yourself with partners who have anxiety or depression or a history of substance use, and they do what they need to do to figure out how to be better, how to live life better, what actions to take to be more functional in life. No, rescuers tend to find themselves with individuals who are anxious, depressed, or abusing substances and aren't doing the work to get help. Finally, rescuers often played a role in their original family, the family that they grew up in, or maybe in their extended family today, where it is their focus to take care of others. It is important for each person to find themselves with someone who can meet their emotional needs, can meet various physical needs they have, and can have a gelling, copacetic, positive relationship. Now, if you are repeating this particular pattern, rescuing wounded souls, there is hope for you. There are all sorts of resources. One of the best things you can do is get mental health services, get therapy. I actually wrote an entire book on this subject, and I'll show it to you. It's called Dr. Seth's Love Prescription: Overcome Relationship Repetition Syndrome and Find the Love You Deserve. Now, did I want to name this book Dr. Seth's Love Prescription? Nope, that was my publisher's decision, but I'm grateful for my publisher because they put this on many bookshelves across the country and hopefully in the hands of many people who it can help. But the point is, in this book, I go through all sorts of examples of things that you can do, techniques and actions you can take to try to get unstuck from that relationship pattern so that relationships don't drain you, so that you can actually have some peace and some joy, so that you can find your equal, so that you can have a relationship that is a source of comfort and support. I always say that is the purpose of relationships: comfort and support. And so often people forget that. So often people get so focused on rescuing wounded souls or finding someone who fits a particular physical type. Don't worry about that stuff. Focus on someone that you have something in common with emotionally, intellectually, that when they talk, sitting across from you at dinner, you like the stuff they say. This is so important. If you are going to be in a long-term relationship with someone, there are going to be so many dinners that you are sitting across from that person at, and you want to like what the other person has to say. In fact, I would argue you need to like what the other person has to say at dinner number 1855 in order for that relationship to be good and to work and to be healthy. So I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, please like this video so that I know what you find helpful. And of course, check out my book if that's helpful. I'll also post a resource with this video so that you can check that out. And if you'd like, you can always listen to my weekly podcast, Insight with Dr. Seth, or check out our Instagram, Insight Dr. Seth Podcast. I wish you all a good day.